朝焼けの光の中に立つ影はミラーマン。光の世界を通り抜け。今だ。キックを使え。目だ。ミラーナイフが宙を切る。戦え僕らのミラーマン。夕焼けの光の中に立つ影はミラーマン。燃える炎を走り抜け。今だ。パンチのチャンス。腹だ。ミラーリングが宙を切る。戦え僕らのミラーマン。
Hello and welcome to Detour Quarry. We are recording this on location at Mount Iwafune Quarry. My name is Red. I'm joined by Mel.
Mirrorman.
Genocide.
Thank you, Mel. Brad. Also joined by Brad. I just said Brad.
You summoned me like I was a Pokemon. It was pretty impressive. Yeah, I brought a guest along. We'll see how long they stick around, if you know what I mean.
Now, what kind of Pokemon would you be? What's your type?
I'd definitely be a normal type.
Okay. That's the kind of thing you say when you're not normal. That's I hope you understand that.
That's how I get you. So I've had a joke with people for a while now that I do. So you know how Pokemon has like the Fire Punch, the Thunder Punch, the Ice Punch? I really want to petition them to add Normal Punch to the game just because I think it'd be really funny.
So here's the thing. I suppose in I haven't played a Pokemon, but I suppose in Pokemon, you cannot actually, the joke I like to make is just beat JRPG the only way I know how to play JRPGs, SMT Fizz build. I guess you can't do SMT Fizz build in a Pokemon game.
You do have like physical and special attacks are like a different thing. But like you're not, I feel like until you get to the competitive stuff, you're not thinking too much about that.
Yeah, so
type.
Pre-Gen 4, physical and special were determined by type.
Okay.
Which means normal type was physical at the time. So I guess in a sense, normal is kind of fizz built.
I see.
Whereas in the more modern era, it's more like, they is an attack based on the Pokemon using physical properties, or is it using like more energy stuff? And that's the divide there. Though usually still what happens is like, most normal attacks will probably be physical just because you're like, it's like tackle, it's like body slam,
yeah.
Like that.
So if I put a magic spell on my Fizz build main character in SMT and it's not going to do much damage, but it's still magic. It's not Fizz, right? Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
I think like Fizz as its own element is like certain RPGs do it. And I think it's interesting when they do it. Like I know that's the Honkai Star Rail has that too, which I feel like that's a stand-in for non-elemental.
Did I tell? I must have said it at the time. My favorite evolution of the SMT like Fizz move lately was in Soul Hackers 2. They had the Meat Bullet move, which was you reduce your HP to 1, and it's a high damage hit. That was cool. I like that.
That's fun.
Anyway. We're here to talk about Mirrorman, not JRPGs.
The final Mirrorman.
We do
4 months.
Yeah. We do have a cosmic entity attempting to destroy the Earth by crashing into it. This is very JRPG.
Axis drop.
Yes, it is very true. So
I feel like that might just be the Gorath prop. It could just be that.
It might be.
Oh, right. I haven't seen that. Right.
Well, guess what? You don't have to.
You're
sucks.
fine.
It's not that good.
It's really not that good.
So yeah, we watched the last 12 episodes of Mirrorman. We have watched Mirrorman over the course of quite a long span of time, much longer than planned, due to a multitude of weird interruptions. Don't worry about it. The point is, we're here now. We watched the last stretch to kind of sum up the first like 3/4 of Mirrorman. The first quarter of Mirrorman that we watched is like establishing this kind of Captain Scarlet, like Cold War espionage stuff against alien invaders, mixed with also there are kaiju fights. Mirrorman shows up sometimes to fight some kaiju. Not really the highlight of the episodes, but you know it happens.
It's like a superhero show, so they feel like they have to do it. But like the highlight is more like what the invaders are doing, what the plot is. It's a bit more Ultra 7 coded that way, but like
because let me tell you, the invaders are fucking cool. Mm-hmm. The invaders are really fucking cool. And in like the second quarter of the show, they kind of veer towards a little bit, like sometimes they have like a little bit more of like a heroic vibe, like a superhero show vibe, and it's like, what? You know, this is kind of mixed in with the espionage stuff. This is strange. And then they hard pivot the show towards being Ultraman. At the halfway point with a color timer as well. The color timer does have the color timer does have the added bonus of it's a bomb. It's a bomb implanted by the aliens, by the invaders.
Yeah, like the color timer is like if you're not careful, you're gonna fucking explode.
Doesn't happen. Spoilers. Doesn't happen in the show.
No.
Would have been cool, but oh well. The next quarter of the show is like we're doing like Ultraman stuff, and
we thought it was like I think you and I at least felt it was like a decent Ultraman, like we still enjoyed it, but it was still like, you know.
Yeah, it was like if it was a shame that they had kind of pivoted away from what made Mirrorman good.
I think it was funny because we watched that batch the week after we did the Ace Retool Miniman Leaves episode.
Lol.
And
wow.
I think one of those ultimately was better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
I recall being more down on it than you two were.
I remember that, but also you know
what then happened. You know, because you know we kind of felt like, well, it's a shame that we've lost the source. The source has been lost.
We saw an episode where they launched Mirror into the Sun, so at least like the episodes were still fun.
Yes. However, coming into this last quarter, I think it is. I might be speaking for all of us here.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe this is all three of us. The source is back.
I agree.
I think I was surprised the degree to which I was like, oh, it's so back. Like these are just good episodes.
There was some
Can I make a cool
episodes.
shot of what I'm assuming our favorite episode is?
Okay. There's a couple of candidates, but yeah, sure, go for it.
Is it the UFO crash in the apartment building episode?
I love that episode.
That's up favorite. There, but I don't know if I'd pick that as my favorite necessarily.
I really, really like the episode where Yuki is just given a mission to just like watch an apartment. Out in like they don't know that they're setting her up in a town full of invaders.
Yes.
And she's just set up in a mansion, watching out a window, just doing normal spy shit.
The
one, just like mundane spy shit.
Is that the one where she keeps getting the call? Well, I can't remember.
Yes,
she keeps getting a phone call.
Yes.
It's like that movie, the fucking thing. Have you checked the children shit?
Mm-hmm. No, that was my favorite episode, just based off of the vibes alone. It
even ends on a cliffhanger because she gets kidnapped on the bus.
It does. That cliffhanger hits way harder than the follow-up episode, which is just kind of okay.
It's just kind of a box standard Ultraman-ish episode.
Yeah, the actual like the bit where the episode's kind of over and she just catches a bus home, gets on the bus, and then looks around and everyone's in sunglasses, and I'm like, the invaders are so fucking cool, dude. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of invaders just kind of like something that we had talked about in like the early phases of Mirrorman was just the tone and atmosphere that this show could tap into was like a level above what Ultraman was playing with at the time.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely back.
Yeah, it does feel weird because like it still is Ultraman-esque because like now SGM does just have the Phoenix going around all the time, but like it does feel like the tone is more like the intro part where like the invaders are doing shit. in a weird way.
Yes.
I do have two things that I do think. So I was thinking about it because I think for me, Mirrorman is a show where I like the first of the quarters we watched. I still think I like the first quarter the most. This is definitely my number 2, very close behind. Something I love about it at the end here is it feels like the Cold War has gone hot.
Yes.
Like back to back to back, like we are getting much more intense action and things are really ramping up, especially the final 2-parter. The one thing where I was a little like, like two things that I noted that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but like one I'd say was more of an issue than the other for me. First, I do think because of how of like a greater focus they're giving on particularly the invasion aspect of it, I don't think you have as much variety and playfulness as you had in maybe the start of the show, when they were still like introducing everyone and you had like a couple different like avenues of them.
You mean like revive an old Hitman?
Yeah, like stuff like that, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think there was just a little bit of like creativity there that these felt a little more played straight, but I still think they're good. And again, I feel like they build on top of each other and develop a sense of escalation fine. So like not overall a big problem, but you know, just a difference in tone I noted. Mm-hmm. The one other thing that I did kind of have going like, okay, I like this show, but sometimes this narrator gets a little weird about immigrants or people, you know. Like, hey, like
your next door neighbor might be an invader.
What's your neighbor up to? And I'm just like, I don't like that, but you know.
It's kind of it's funny because
it's like those more like the more fashy Ultra 7 episodes are a bit like that energy, like the one where it's like there's the spying on your neighbor episode.
Yeah, I was thinking about that a lot.
The thing here is that this is kind of, these are ideas that are kind of like inherent to the premise a little bit of this being like a Cold War like body snatchers stuff.
Yeah,
the commies are coming to get us. But also in, you know, some of the best, you know, that doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to lean in as hard. Like that stuff can kind of sink to the background and you can kind of enjoy like the individual episodes.
And the thing is, I don't feel like it even would have been on my mind, but the narrator keeps chiming in at the end, like, and I'm just like, the show would have been better without this guy.
I do think the narrator is like unnecessary sometimes because he's always like, and then Kyotaro will never forgive the invaders, and he will always fight on. To the upset ends.
He does forgive invaders. He does do that. He forgives 2 invaders. There's that little boy and there's that woman.
But because they die from the other invaders, he can never forgive the society more.
Yeah, he can never forgive.
Which is why he did kill them all.
Which is why he killed them all.
How did I was going to actually ask about that. How did you feel about those 2 episodes being in such close proximity? Because
it's weird to put them so close to each other.
I didn't mind, but
it just happens with this show, with this franchise, with this studio. Because Mirrorman is an Ultraman, but like we've had cases where it felt where we've had like Ultraman episodes that felt weirdly too close together.
I didn't mind as much as I thought I would, but it did make me, when we got to the second one, I was like, the one with the woman was the second one, correct? Or was yes,
the kid was first.
Yes, okay. I was thinking like, I don't know how much they're, you know, talking back and forth. I don't know who wrote these episodes, but I would have maybe done a little bit more work to make them like, I don't mind if it's like the same central premise, but maybe take different routes with it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just kind of something like, okay, we kind of hitting on the same idea twice here, but.
Can we talk about the best scene in the episode with the kid, where he unfreezes Mirrorman?
Oh, and then the knives fall from the ceiling.
Yeah, the spears fall from the ceiling, and then Kyotaro chucks it at an invader off screen, and then the dog turns into a kaiju.
Yes.
I was like, incredible 50 seconds of television.
There's that episode where the kid is the invader. The episode where the woman is an invader, is like the whole like stakes of it are set up in a very different way, to be fair, I guess, with the whole she gets like lethally injured early in the episode.
She gets hit with a guitar beam that melts her organs.
She does, right. The guitar laser gun, big fan. Not quite Soga machine gun mandolin, We're not quite operating on that level, but it's pretty
no.
good. And that episode's about like the Kyotaro lying to this woman, saying like, yeah, we're gonna, you're gonna be a human being just like us. And she's like, how long will it take for me to research all of human society? And then he's like, you'll be done before you know it.
Yeah. It does, I feel like this is just of the era and expected, but it is a bit of a shame that both of the quote-unquote good invaders die at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, on one hand, it's like it's showing that like there is a way which you can like make them like turn them over to your side, but at the same time, like the fact that they die is like makes the rest of the invaders more unforgivable. And like it's like the idea that maybe we can change the society is not addressed.
No. It is also. It's like it's not even necessarily. It's just this idea of like this is the invaders are not like inherently evil. There's the actual like there's this like agreement in a discussion in a phone booth. Kyotaro like discusses like gets the reveal on what the invaders' whole motivation is in a phone call in a phone booth, which is pretty good. And they're like, listen, you don't know how good you have it. Earth is rare. There aren't many Earths out there. Most planets fucking suck. We live on a place called the Dark Planet. Like Theo's planet. And they're like, we want to immigrate. So they keep using the word immigrate. They keep talking about immigration, which
that does feel like a thing that comes out a lot in like Japanese media.
Now this is like
these days it's difficult to be Japanese.
Now there's also the possibility that I don't know if this was the case I don't think this was always the case in Mirrorman. You might disagree. You might remind me, no, Red, it was always like this. I don't think the Mirrorman subs were always this bad.
No, they definitely got. I think they got worse.
They fell directly off a cliff.
Can I give you my favorite one?
Is it the Mieeoelwm or whatever the fuck?
Mieeoelwm?
Yes.
What the fuck was going on there?
You can live as a normal human being instead of being.
Excuse me? I think I see how to get the era because those letters are next to each other on the keyboard. But it's like you didn't do a second pass.
There's a lot of.
I will say this is the same source of subs as Gridman and the Ultraman. So this is what we're dealing with a bit.
Now these subs used to be at least decent. Like
I've heard that like it is the case that like the subs appear at the beginning for all three of these shows, and they get there's
the person assigned to it just gets fucking bored. Is that what you're telling me?
Jesus Christ!
I guess so.
That's a real shame because
it sure is nice that someone is doing a proper translation of Gridman now.
Yeah, good.
Shout out to that person.
Hopefully
it's coming along well.
You briefly mentioned at the beginning another one of the really, really good episodes of this show, which is like the only time where I have been like, it's good that Kyotaro is a transforming giant hero.
Yes.
Which is the episode where the UFO just crashes into the apartment building.
Yeah. It's mostly just like a rescue episode.
With Thunderbird's time, baby.
Yeah, and like
it's not really Thunderbird's time. It's like
and like
a man digging through rubble.
And like a kaiju shows up in the first side of the episode and then fucks off and comes back like 4 episodes later. But
yes.
Most of the episode is just like Mirrorman is like holding up one building to prevent it from falling on another building. And
what
like
a hero.
Most of the drama is.
It shocked me that we haven't had something more akin to this in any of the Ultra stuff we've watched.
That's what I was thinking. Like, that's the problem with the episode stand out to me. It's just like we haven't got anything like that in Ultraman, which made this extra special.
This absolutely feels like a missing vibe from Ultraman. This needs to be incorporated like immediately because this is
we even get
sick.
we get Yui, we get Yasuda actually being a guy, the glasses guy, because he's kind of like the last place in terms of like being a guy in terms of the SGM guys.
And
But
yeah,
he gets some stuff in this last batch.
him getting like increasingly downtrodden as he digs through this rubble to find a little girl. It's good.
This whole batch of like this episode in particular, obviously because it's part of the central premise, but even like the final like batch or like the two-parter where they're in the building as it's getting attacked, I feel like this show has really gone out of its way to remind people in a way that I feel like Ultraman of this era has not. Like, hey, when these buildings are getting smacked around, like there's potentially people inside there.
Yes.
And like that's something I feel like Ultraman's kind of started to take for granted as like, oh, this is just a cool special effect destruction thing.
No, I haven't. I haven't checked when these episode airs, but I need to remind people that like this last stretch is overlapping with the first half of Ace in terms of airing.
Okay.
Like Mirrorman Stridal's second half of Return, first half of Ace.
It's very funny that Ace chooses to go with Yapul stuff because it's mid compared to the Invaders.
Absolutely.
The Invaders
even become one guy sometimes.
Yeah, the whole like sunglasses and black suits bit is fantastic.
I like the touch with like the girl who turned into the Good Invader girl, where she mentions, "Oh, invaders don't have eyes, but he wore glass eyes." Fun stuff like that. Also, I do want to notice. I feel like in these last batch exclusively, I don't think it happened earlier. Like some of the invaders are just wearing black paint on their face. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, I think I noticed it a couple of times. There's like some weird like skin. They're like going for like darker skin tone sometimes, but also when in the last episode when the three guys get taken over by the invaders, they go paler. It's like inconsistent. I'm not sure I rate the invaders' true form. Just the green guy.
The fish guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure I rate that.
It's fine.
It's okay.
They're dudes.
Are there any like particular episodes we want to shout out before I quickly talk about before we get into like the finale stuff?
Well, there's one. Well, I guess I'll leave. Well, okay. There's two things, I guess. I felt like I feel like me in particular of the three of us has been very critical of like, I get annoyed when he goes big and fights the monster because I in particular have not felt like the monsters were really up to snuff this show.
Yeah.
And like his powers are like cool on paper, but like at the end of the day, I really don't care. This last batch really started. I don't know if I'd say I fully turned around, but I do think that these fights get pretty sick, and I appreciated that action more than I had in the rest of the show, like leading up to this.
I think I was still a bit checked out, but there's definitely like cooler stuff happening.
I think the last,
and I think the desperation hits a bit more too.
Yes, so the one for me that really stuck out is the final battle where he's going up against multiple monsters, and because his timer thing isn't just a timer, it's also like he loses time when he uses his energy specifically, and he's just going through a marathon of all of his different unique abilities, calling them out, and the timer just starts ticking faster and faster and faster. The monsters are still coming at him. I'm like, this is great. That really worked for me. You get kind of a fake out explosion at that point too.
Like he collapses and then Kaiju collapses on top of him as it dies.
Yeah,
that's good. I want to shout. I feel like a lot of the episodes are kind of whatever. There's like this batch is on the whole pretty good, but there's some bit of like more forgettable ones, like the one with the cow.
I was about to say I have one episode I don't like in this batch, and it's the cow one. He decapitates
the boy's pet cow.
Yeah.
This is the only episode of this batch I did not like.
There's like the one where like the miners turn into werewolves. I think in the first, like episode 39 is the first one. That one's an interesting one where like the kid blames Kyoto for killing his dad and like leaves him in the cave.
Oh yeah, it leaves him in the cave. That one was forgettable.
I love that episode because he's like, I need your help to get out, and then the kid just starts like poking away at pebbles with a stick. I'm like, I feel like you could have done this from inside. It rules. Yeah. I love it.
The other one I like is like the one of the ghost girl who isn't actually dead at the end of the episode, but like just like there's some cool ghost stuff happening there.
What's the ghost? Wait. What's the Ghost Girl episode?
The woman in the wheelchair who goes into
like
the water.
invaders push a girl in a wheelchair into a river and then pretend to be her. But then she's fine in the episode.
I kind of wish she wasn't fine at the end of the episode.
It did feel a bit like too soft compared to like other stuff that. Because it's a lot of episodes where the invaders just fucking get the guy. Like, people just die.
Yeah. The episode where the scientist goes to hand over the laser weapon to save Yuki,
and he gets fucking stabbed.
He realizes what's about to happen in like a series of flashbacks at the end, and then tries to run away, and we just get like this long distance shot of the invaders running him down and stabbing him in the back.
Yeah,
fucking sick. The invaders rock.
I want to highlight in particular the shot of the lady in the wheelchair turning her head around and it just being a fucking skull.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And like we just get shots with like the wheelchair with like a candle go throughout the episode. Just by.
With the like it has like a candelabra on it. Oh, it's so good. When this show does the horror vibes, it's so good.
The show has sauce where it counts a lot of times, which is cool.
Speaking of this show having sauce, the gravitational effects of the dark planet approaching Earth are fucking sick.
They're very good.
I do like the reuse Return of Ultraman footage.
It probably because they got the tsunami stuff.
Yeah,
right?
the tsunami effect, the most expensive tsunami effect. They're like, we're gonna use.
Hey, get your money's worth.
Get your money's worth, Mirrorman. Absolutely. Just like cracks opening in the earth, people falling into it.
Do we want to just like start from the top of the finale, or before we get into it more, or?
I mean, what's that?
They're gonna crash the planet.
I guess it's like So there's gonna be the invaders give like their final warning. They're like, right, that's it. We've had enough. This is bullshit. This is completely this is unbalanced. Mirrorman is OP. We're throwing our fucking planet at you. We're going to destroy the Earth, and then we're going to occupy your orbital position, and we're going to be
atmosphere stuff.
Yes. Now. I think. I'll absorb atmospheric stuff. Oh, that might be the other thing that they need. Because I was like, what if they just occupied like the position, like the symmetrical, like opposite position of us on the other side of the sun in the orbit? Yeah. Wouldn't that be okay? But no, they have to destroy us. And SGM is like, there's like, well, we got the gravitational thing. It's gonna stop the planet from landing on us. And it's a whole project we've got set up.
Feels like more of a laser in the end, but
it does feel like more of a laser in the end. It does feel like they Death Starred that planet to death.
Surprised the Earth made it unharmed from that, but
Yeah, the Doctor goes on TV and is like, Earth's gonna get hit by a planet.
The episode's called Earth's Last Day.
Yeah. And everyone's like not really happy about it. And then like kaiju damage the device in like the penultimate episode, and then the last episode is like, are the repairs gonna get done in time? Yeah. And then
will the chickens hatch in time?
Will the chickens? Yeah, the chickens are going to hatch in 5 days, and there's only 4 days left.
The kid from the first batch, whose dad is pretending to be dead, comes back in the show to talk about chickens.
True.
I didn't even realize that's who that was.
Him?
Yes,
was that him?
Yes.
Oh my god.
I forgot about him.
Right. The world was gonna end and his dad didn't reveal that he was alive. That's fucked up.
To be fair, Frabo doesn't know either.
Frabo doesn't know any of them are dead. So
there's good shots in these episodes.
Yes.
Like the one I made a shipload is about.
Yes.
Just like the SGM guys staring at the camera.
Absolutely. The SGM have been through it.
But I also like the shot. I think it's like I forget. It's like the final episode where it's just like the professor is like standing and making declarations with like the orange background of like "Don't give up hope," while everything is going to shit. Is just really, really cool.
He's like specifically, this is so Tsuburaya, because he's like standing there, not necessarily speaking to anyone, just like might as well just like be speaking from atop the mountain or whatever.
Yes.
And is just yelling about how if we put our hopes in science, so if we do science properly, then we can make the impossible possible. We can we should show the invaders our excellence.
And this is double super rad because this moment is immediately followed up upon by everyone deciding to have hope by going to church.
Yes. You all go to you all go to Catholic church. There's a nun. It's fucking great. And then the fight happens that we talked about, Brad was talking about earlier. And then the gravity machine's fixed.
We need to talk about also, just to mention, like in the first part, penultimate episode, a lot of the problems are caused by like the three guys of the SGM are captured and brainwashed for a bit.
They are for a little
and it
bit.
sabotages things.
They do. It is very obvious that they've been brainwashed.
For that reason, this just reminded me of like the two-parter in Return of Ultraman, where Matt gets brainwashed twice by doing the same thing twice.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it was. I can't remember if this is in that two-parter, but like, they tie up that one woman and put the most toyetic looking time bomb like right above her.
Yes.
It's so fun. And I love how it's just like, oh, how do we defuse this thing? It's just an off switch.
It's just a button.
Yeah. She spends like 20 minutes climbing towards it, but Kyoto just walks in and is like, yeah, it's okay. I got it.
Yeah. And then, we get the fight, and then we get, because the gravity machine is working again, and so the kaiju have to attack. But to transform, it's either the penultimate episode or this episode where Kyotaro first transforms into Mirrorman, and Asuko.
Yes, it is the final episode because they're on patrol and they go inside a building and the kaiju's attacking that building, and Kyotaro runs into the bathroom to like transform with a mirror, and then Asuko like tries to break in and he's like, no, please leave the bathroom now, and then he transforms and
I have to do something very quickly. Please leave. And the scene where he like realizes that she knows that he's Mirrorman, and he gets like the flashback to the doctor saying, once this is over, you can go back to living like a normal young man instead of being Mieeoelwm man.
And he collapses.
And then he collapses, and he's like, "Oh,
yeah, because she's like out of it.
She knows now. She knows now.
The shot with them on the stairs is so like that whole sequence is so well done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's a part where she stops him from transforming, but then he slaps her, which isn't cool. But it is a fun detail.
Classic 70s Supro.
Yeah, she like
slap women
the
to communicate with them.
Also notable that like a couple episodes ago, Mirrorman's dad just shows up. He's like, "Yeah, don't use the pendant to transform because that's like the gate
to the two-dimensional realm, which is our nation."
Yeah.
And then Mirrorman has this whole fight at the end of the finale, wins. The SGM fire the gravity emitter at the Dark Planet, which does not push it away, it does not push it anywhere else.
Blows it
up like it's the Death Star pointing at Alderaan.
Don't worry, Earth does not get debris on it.
No, the Earth is fine. There is no consequence.
Do you think that IG-88 uploaded? Never mind.
Yes. Yes.
We can't get into this.
Thank you. I found out about that from listening to A More Civilized Age.
I found out about that, I'm pretty sure, because I heard people finding out about it because of A More Civilized Age.
I enjoy listening to A More Civilized Age and being free from the burden of watching Star Wars.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes
we're reading novels right now.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. We're reading the Heir to the Empire novels.
It is tricky sometimes following a podcast when you're like, well, I'm not watching the episodes, but
is Sebulba in it?
Sebulba is not in the Heir to the Empire. Sebulba hasn't been invented yet. These are the old Thrawn novels.
Oh. I think I actually saw a Thrawn novel because I went to like a nerd shop the other day with my friend. I just happened to see this.
So there are EU Thrawn novels. There are canon Thrawn novels as well.
Star Wars is
he's
dumb,
very popular,
and a lot of that's because Disney too, but also.
Listen, I'll give credit to canon, to Dave Filoni on this. They did. It was probably a good idea to put Thrawn back into Star Wars because people like him a lot. I
mostly just think like Disney declaring the EU stuff like null and void, and then being like, people like that stuff, so we have to work it in back somehow. Is feels like a mistake.
Yeah,
people like KOTOR.
People do like KOTOR.
I think I should learn Huttese as a second language. I think I'd go far.
No, what do you?
I think you should learn an actual second language.
I don't think ho 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 it means anything in.
No, I think that's just how Java laughs.
I think that's laughing.
Dubahito ho 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 ho.
That's true. Playing KOTOR is like just, it's very funny that they just record like the stock, like a stock set of vaguely language sounding sounds and then play them over and over again for different lines for aliens. is real stupid. Anyway, Mirrorman. We were talking about Mirror. How did we get onto fucking stuff? Anyway,
Alderaan, Death Star.
Alderaan. Yeah, we just genocide the invaders. Goodbye.
Yeah. Which means Kyoto gets to be a normal person again, right?
But wait.
No.
The day is saved, right?
It's been established that he can't use the reflection of the most obvious reflective thing he's had on his person this whole time, which shockingly I've never thought about, actually. Like, oh yeah, he has that like pendant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ghost of his dad appears in the sky and is like, now hold it. This is Ultraman. He has to go away at the end.
I think this is the best person has to go back into space and leave forever scene we've had in one of these shows. I like this one a lot.
I couldn't dare say that, but
I like
it's
Ultra
okay.
7 a lot. I'm like torn on this one, but also I like.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Ultra 7's pretty good.
I like to make my own. I mean, I also do like just like fully Ultramanized Go having to leave and ditching his adopted child.
See, I like
woman he met 3 weeks ago.
I like that, but not necessarily for reasons the show wants me to like that.
I mean, it's a bit 50-50 because I just do like Go just being a different person now. But
yeah, I do agree with that. But like him talking to his love interest on the beach and being like, I gotta go now, tossing the amulet, shooting it, and then like disappearing. That
actual scene, him like, the long distance mirror spark is great.
I don't know if this was intended, but I like why, I guess, quote unquote, like about the scene where Mirrorman's dad shows up. Is Mirrorman's dad's like, well, your fight's not done, Kyotaro, you have to come to the 2D realm to fight the invaders there. And then the professor speaking on Kyoto's behalf is like, oh, he'd love to. It'd be so good for him to do this. And Kyotaro is very clearly not happy with this.
He's like, oh, no, are you kidding me?
I did like that we got a reason that... Because, like, it feels like for the other shows, a lot of the time, it's just like, oh, I have to leave to do nebulous ultra hero things. You'll be fine with me.
With Ultra 7, it's because he died, but...
Yes.
I mean, he got better. Like, presumably Zoffy will, but...
But I really do. I like that, like, after all of this, there's like, oh no, the war is not finished for this guy. He's like just stuck in it now. Like
my joke at the top, like this morning, where I was like, he's got one last job, and he's just like, no.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Please, no.
Yeah, I think this is number 2 for me behind Ultra 7. Ultra 7, very good.
Just I think the fact that it is just like a professor speaking so enthusiastically on Kyoto's behalf when he just sees Kyoto scowling really makes it for me. And just like, oh yeah, like Kyoto has like 2 dads who both suck.
Yep.
I think it's when his dad says, you have to come save our nation, and I'm like, you got a nation in there?
I mean, that could just be the bad subs, of course, but
it could be, but also you got a nation in there, dude. Wow.
The Kingdom of Mirrors.
The Kingdom of Mirrors. Do we have anything else we want to shout out before we move into like the stuff?
I think, like, by the stuff, do you mean like emails and timers and fun stuff?
Emails and timers and
Okay. I think
production.
overall, I like this show a lot. I feel really weird about it though, because for 3/4 of it, I do think that the central core thing that theoretically I should be coming for a show like this for isn't very good, which is the giant man fighting the giant monster, which is a weird feeling to have, but like everything else is so fucking good, except when it isn't for half of it, where I'm kind of like, I don't know. Very inconsistent, but like the start and end of the show, I think, is full of fucking bangers that like really high highs, but also some like kind of middling lows for me as well.
Yeah. I feel like this is a weird experience. I do also think like, what if we'd watched this in a different way? How that affected reading? Like, probably still like better read it this way. But like, I am curious how we feel about the show if we watch it in like a more spread out, consistently kind of way.
It's possible, but it's weird how there is also the aspect that there is a part of me where I'm like, how much of the like very clear delineation between the vibes of this show in like the different sections of it is just we recorded them under different mindsets, etc. But also it does feel very real. It does, we do have that midway pivot.
I mean, maybe we would have a different vibe if like we watched it in like batches of 2. Or, like, not batches of 2, but, like, we would watch it in, like, 2 batches. Or if we watched it in, like, 8 batches, that maybe would be different, for instance. But, I do just want to put out there, because I had the unique experience of doing an entire second series in between this and the last time. I do think I don't like doing 12 episodes for a podcast.
I mean, that's fine.
I think it's mostly because like we planned initially to try and squeeze it all in before ARC, and it made sense. But I also think that our viewing habits are, no matter what we say, we always end up watching all of them in the week before, and that's kind of a lot to do.
No, that's understandable.
So maybe for the future we can like do smaller batches or whatever. But
I mean, as far as I know, we don't have anything like Mirrorman scheduled soon.
Yeah, but I'm also saying, like things to keep in mind. That's just my view. I just I feel like it contributes to the burnout a little bit because I know there are different times where we felt burnt out by Mirrorman, especially at the start.
I honestly think part of that. Because, like, I even had that... I don't know. I feel like part of it is just that these are very similar shows, and I think I'm gonna kind of have that no matter what.
We were trying to do too much of it at the same time. Like, the reason we split Mirrorman into 12 episodes was because we were doing other stuff at the same time.
Yes.
Mirrorman, is another one of these, and it was kind of like that. I do not think we have anything on the cards that we would want to split up like this again.
Yeah. And we'll see. We'll play it by ear, case by case.
These are conversations for other times, maybe.
Yes.
Because I'm kind of on the clock.
Yes.
I'll
leave it at that.
On a timer,
But yeah, that's just my experience because I also did August in batches of 12.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I am left with a weird feeling of, like, I wish more of Mirrorman's energy. Like, I wish Ultraman had, like, borrowed more from this show moving forward.
Yeah.
In a way, while also simultaneously feeling as though I feel like maybe I would have liked Mirrorman even more if I had seen less Ultraman, and that's a very weird take to like sit with. But I also feel like it makes sense, It's
maybe the better timeline it was if Mirrorman was Ultraman Ace instead of Ultraman Ace.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think you could get a I think a synthesis between Ultraman at the time Mirrorman came out and what Mirrorman was going for would make for a show I would like a great deal.
Alternatively, you should watch the Jerry and Sylvia Anderson show, UFO. which has no giant monsters or anything. It's just guys fighting, doing SGM stuff.
All right. In 3 months, I'll get back to you on that and ask an embarrassing question. If someone is someone else's mom.
Absolutely. It does have the two guys who are dressed like purely coincidentally kind of dress and have the vibe of Gendo and Fuyutsuki.
Yeah. No promises, but I do think an Anderson show could be a fun Detour Quarry. But
yeah, we wouldn't want to do. I mean, the thing with those is they're so yeah. Those are the kind of things that I'm I don't know. I rock up with one day, like I need to find someone. It's like
I get it.
Anyway, do we have we have a bunch of stuff to talk about Mirrorman?
Yeah, I got some trivia stuff.
Yeah, go for it.
I have directors. Yoshiyuki Kuroda did 39, 42, and 43. Toshitsu Suzuki did 40, 41, 48, 49. Shohei Tojo did 44, 45, 50, and 51. And then Jun Oki did 46, 47. Writers, Tohiro Ando did 39, 45, 46, and 49. Bunsugo Watsukatsuki did 40 to 42, 44, and 48. Hiroyasu Yaramura did 43, 50 to 51. Keisuke Fujikawa did 47. Special effects director was Nobuo Yajima, episode 39, 42, 43, 46, 47, 50, 51. Jun Oki did episode 40, 41. Koichi Takano did 44, 45, 48, and 49. Kaiju stuff, I kind of feel like I just don't give a shit about details of these guys.
Lamau.
Nodding my head sagely.
There's just not enough to really feel worth it. I will just say,
yeah. You
can look up the names. I don't care to give the names, but I will say all the kaiju were by Kako Yonatani, with the exception of, incidentally, 2 very similar episodes. The dog kaiju with a kid, and the sister kaiju of who assassinated her sister with a guitar gun. They were both done by Kengo Kime, who would later go on to do more kaiju designs for Leo. So that's fun.
Okay.
And then just some extra bonus trivia I got for the bit of the show's legacy stuff. Apparently the show was very popular with its twists and turns. Starting from episode 34, the ratings picked up to the 16% range, and their show got a stable popularity from that point. And apparently in the year after, from 1972 to 1973, they were considering trying to do a sequel called Mirrorman Brothers, which planned to depict the adventures of Mirrorman Red, who is Mirrorman's younger brother and the alter ego of Takuya Kagami, but they never actually made it into a thing.
That's me. I did that.
So, I enjoy Subaraya Productions' consistent desire to make a red hero and always for it to go awry and either nothing comes of it or it turns into something else completely. Like how Redman became what it was because it at first was supposed to be Ultraman. Is just funny.
Yeah. And then we just got a couple emails.
Shoot.
So first off, by Logan. Farewell,
Hello,
Mirrorman.
Logan.
Hello, Logan.
Hello, Ultra Gear Pod. After so long, we get back to Mirrorman. Just a disclaimer, I finished the show 4 months ago, so some of the details I really like Mirrorman. I do remember feeling that the last stretch and ending of the show was strong, with episode 44 a standout for me. I think that was the UFO.
I have the episodes up.
That's the UFO, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Or I feel that while
it's called Rescue from Evil.
Yes.
It's not evil, it's an accident.
Wait, hold on. The Japanese transliteration of the Ultraman wiki has says Rescuing Operation of Devil.
Incredible.
Overall, I feel that while it did have a midway rework, it did not throw everything away like Ace did, so it felt like more of the same show. Yeah, I can see that. It didn't throw out its identity. I think we talked about this last time too. Ace threw out its identity in a way that Mirrorman did not, even though Mirrorman obviously changed.
This honestly did feel like they went, what are we doing? And tried to restore itself a bit.
Yeah.
I do think that was intentional.
It's funny because this happened before the Ace retool, so it makes me ask what we're really doing. Different teams though, I bet though. The biggest downside for the show is that I feel like basically all the kaiju designs are pretty lame and forgettable except for the invaders. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'd probably rank it as my third favorite show, a Super Eye show, tied with Return and behind Ultra 7 and Ultra Q. I'm curious how we rank it, but, also the competition isn't exactly fierce. It's kind of like, well, it's obviously better than 69 and Ace, so...
I think I'd still put Return slightly above this, but this gives it a run for its money for me.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're in the same ballpark. While I think I did not reach the highs that Return did, I like the overall feeling of the show, and Kitaro is a good protagonist on the same level as Go for them. After finally watching the show, I feel it's a real shame the show does not have any official release in English yet. That's kind of not true. Like, these are technically official subs from a really bad source, but it's also not on DVD in the way that Gridman is. Also, I saw that...
Wait, whoa. It's a bad source, but these are official? These are official?
Yep. Yep.
Mieeoelwm, that's official?
Yep, this is the same... Like I said, it's the same source as, like, the 70s anime.
Huh. Okay.
I think Mirrorman is being aired right now on the Super Eye TV YouTube channel as one of their shows in the rotation.
With these subs?
Probably.
Oh, no.
They did that with Gridman, too, years back.
Oh, dear.
It's a problem. I think it serves, especially since that last of the show, the current subs we have quality-wise fell off a cliff. So, yeah, it's everyone. Besides, I think we deserve to see Kyotaro's fantastic fits in HD. That would be good. Yeah, not said, but there's a lot of absurd 70s fashion Kyotaro wears in these episodes.
Mm-hmm. Kyotaro not bound by uniform.
No.
Especially now that
what does everyone else think about him? Because, like, the Doctor knows he's his guy, and everyone else is just like, yeah, Kyotaro's here. Yeah.
He's just a guy.
He's involved.
He's the intern.
I think part of it is because he's like the kind of quote adopted son of the professor. He was like initially just allowed in because he's like in the loop.
Yeah.
And him being a reporter was useful.
It was nice having a guy who knew that he was Mirrorman the whole time. That did bring a different vibe.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Even if he was like, fucking evil professor.
Frankly, until that scene happened in the second to last episode, I kind of forgot everyone else didn't know. If I'm being honest.
It's very... Having your adopted dad be Ichinotani is bad. That's a really bad idea.
It's like some real like Gundam boy energy. I was like, your dad is also Bright Noah, who is an evil side.
Yeah.
Who sends you off to the 2D world to fight the war.
Yeah. Sorry, Logan, I've interrupted your email.
Yeah, especially now that Ultraman Arc is airing, because I feel that a bit of Mirrorman is an Ultraman Arc with how Arc interacts with Ema through reflections and Skip being like an early SGM as a non-combat research team.
Absolutely. I was thinking that when watching the Arc episodes, especially, I think it's the Noisler one, like a lot of reflections and like...
Yeah.
Shield-based, like, reflecting attacks.
It's an interesting way, the way that Arc has like a separation between Yuma and Arc.
I feel like the Noisler.
Sticking out your gut.
No.
Anyway, that was Logan's email.
Thank you, Logan.
Thank you, Logan. Let's go to Surgixer's second half of their email.
Yeah.
Anywho, Mirrorman is now over as well. Mirrorman is a show that does a lot right to me, changing a tonal direction notwithstanding. Certainly on par with Return of Ultraman for me, it just has such a confidence in itself and showcases what the team could do back when they weren't financially crippled, as they would end up being time and time again. I would say that there's a bit of non-confidence just from like the retool, but they have more confidence in Ace, for sure, as we just mentioned. But I do think the show is a bit more on the budget side compared to like the contemporary Ultraman shows.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my vibe.
Here's an easy way to make it cheaper. Don't do the kaiju.
Yeah!
Yeah. Whenever Mighty Jack gets up, we're winning.
Absolutely.
Also Operation History.
Someone please Horror Theater Unbalanced, I need to know.
I'm gonna start by saying this next paragraph starts with a hell of a claim. I take it Fireman is the next on the Detour Core watch list. We didn't decide that.
We there's no watch list.
Yeah. This is a Detour Core is going to be taken as we go. Also, I don't even know if Fireman is done being subbed. Like, I think it maybe has one episode left. So, like, my assumption is, like, we'd end up doing, whenever that was, we'd end up doing, like, Jump or Ace first anyway. But also, I don't want to
You know what we should do? You know what we should do?
Yeah.
We should get Cydrixa to send us the Fireman OP before this episode goes out, and then he can hear us to tell him, no, we're not watching that.
He attached in the email anyway.
Oh.
Red, I think you just got owned.
I did. I got outsmarted.
Yeah, I don't.
He saw it
Cydrixa, you're getting a high five from me. That's pretty good.
Yeah. But yeah, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, so Cydrixa can correct me. But to my knowledge, 29 out of 30 episodes of Fireman have been subbed.
That's an annoying number.
Yes.
That is a really annoying number for our needs.
But you know,
we are good for now.
See. I think it'd be decent. It'd be nice-ish to do, but also I want us to not be in the 70s when we do it. Because I feel like, you know, like we said, like as much as we enjoyed Mirrorman, there was like burnout from like watching a show that was a 70s Ultraman show while also watching 70s Ultraman.
I am terrified every week when I sit down to do these if I'm going to hit my limit, and I never do, thankfully. But
yeah. The
fear is there.
Anyway, I don't want to add more fuel to the fire by being like, well, we're doing Jump or Ace now.
Yeah.
So, you know, it'd be nice to do his homework, but well, you know, that's a conversation for later. It's not one for now. I'm fine with like leaving that for like a couple of years or something. Yeah, so anyway, continuing on from that sentence, because I got one sentence in the paragraph. As such, please find the theme song attached to this email. However, if I could be so bold, I would like to put in a special request for y'all. Since I believe this is a song all of you are going to really like, would you be so kind as to record your initial listening to the track? Because, yeah, I think you'll all enjoy it greatly, and I want to see if my theory is correct. Please and thank you. Okay, well, I have to go download the song now.
You have to put it in the Discord.
Yeah. I see it down properly.
And what I have to do is try not to say anything of value that would be included that I wouldn't cut out before we get the music. What should I do after this? I should watch Heartcatch after this.
There we go. You should do that. There we go.
I should watch. Okay. I should finish Ergo Proxy.
I should finish the second half of Kingdom of Heaven because I started that last night.
Oh, that's a movie?
It is a movie. It's entertaining, but I don't know if I have like.
It's the most Runciman-pilled movie I've ever seen.
It's interesting opinions. I do like the line where Orlando Bloom is like, "I have done murder," and then Liam Neeson's like, "Haven't we all?"
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, we got this loaded up. Should I do a 3, 2, 1, go?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh.
Ooh.
This is imposing.
This one might be okay.
Ooh.
This one's better.
This is that 70s era Toku vibe.
This is a Super Robot show. I'm watching the good shit.
Yeah.
Go on, yell Space Defender Linguini.
Oh yeah, this got the vibe.
Absolutely.
I don't know too much about the concept of Fireman. I think it's just like the invaders are from the underground, but that's all I know about it.
The invaders are from the underground.
I would bet he has fire-themed abilities.
No, it's ice.
No.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Okay, this is pretty sick.
I fuck with this.
There's a 2-minute song, so we don't have to listen to it.
No. Should we?
We can call
I'll
it.
go until I think the OP's there.
Yeah. We can listen to the full thing later on our own time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got the initial reaction.
Okay.
Presumably the song
It's
was
right. Okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna pause it now. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Cydrixa.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick. You are right, but we're not watching that show.
Yeah. When we watch it, you will find out when we do. Basically.
All right. Is there any more to Cydrix's email?
No, that was it.
Thank you very much for your email, Cydrixa.
Yeah, thank you.
do we have anything else, or can I go into plugs?
Now we can roll out.
Okay. You don't want to do color timers for all 50 episodes of the
I
show?
didn't fucking do color timers for this show.
Okay.
Plus, you didn't have it halfway through.
This is true. It's only like 25 or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So, if you want to follow the show, you can do so on Twitter and on Blue Sky. On Twitter, we are at ultra_Q. That is at ultra_QUEUE. On Blue Sky, we are at ultraQ. That is ultraQUEUE. No underscores on Blue Sky. Mal.
Hi, you can follow me at Dear Crowns on both Twitter and Blue Sky. We got an email, ultraqpod@gmail.com, and we got coffee, ultraqfund. Brad.
Yeah, I'm everywhere at BeInvoked. That's BE_INVOKED on Twitter. And then BeInvoked at Blue Sky, all one word. Yeah, it took a lot of energy to not be the BeInvoked guy going, like, getting a lot of Idion vibes from this Cold War. But
Lol.
Yeah.
Lol.
That is it for Mirrorman. We had a pretty good time at the end here, which is good. It's good that it didn't
finished
just...
our first Detour, which is nice.
Oh, true. We did do that. Join us next week for the usual Ultra Q episode, which will come out on Thursday again, and it'll be 3 more episodes of Tara.
Yeah, use the hashtag #IsItThursdayYet.
Oh, don't do that. Oh, don't do that.
To tweet about your excitement for our podcast.
You know, I could take Matt Mercer. I could take him in a fist fight. I could beat him up. Easy. Matt Mercer, I apologize for saying that. If you're listening to this. He's not listening.
Not like our
yeah, Matt Mercer was like, they're not doing Fireman. Fuck these guys. They're done.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
きらめく夜空に一つ平和の誓いを叫ぶ正義の剣を抜くぞ力を合わせて皆希望の世界をつかむ僕らと共